Hey everyone, Strangers103 here today with yet another replay cast. This is another ranked game, trying to go through the ranked games with some priority. At the moment, although I started trying to record this one like 5 days ago, and we're full AA over here, so like we say, which is could be quite useful, and having manual AA in a CV game is pretty useful, but I've been struggling to get this replay to work. Either the audio breaks, the replay crashes on me halfway through, so I basically just gave up and let it be for a while. Um, so yeah, basically we've got a radar minnow and AA, pretty normal spec. We're full AA, well, full. I think we're missing BFT, which is pretty normal, and we've got range upgrade on the guns instead of DPS upgrade for AA, but it's still more than enough AA to make a mess out of most aircraft. Heading what looks like towards the direct island. Now, this is rather early in the season, but nowadays, well, I mean, even in the early season, I believe that the correct way to play the map was literally go to D. Seriously, I'm not even kidding with you. You want to win this game? Go here, go around, kill any destroyer trying to cap this by going around it, basically. That way, otherwise you sit here, sure, a destroyer over here can shoot over the island. Minotaur here can shoot over the island and deal some damage. But at the end of the day, they can always just take this. Sure, we've got two radars, but it's not perma radar. This guy's not really here, and the Minotaur is currently somewhere out in the open near the capture circles. I'm probably going to be spending more time looking at the teams over looking at the gameplay, because in general, the Moines gameplay, I mean, I've watched this one like 7-8 different times already, because, I know what's going on, so it's probably more interesting to look at what's going on over here. The Minotaur almost certainly got air spotted over there, and he is being shelled. Not the world's best position for a Minotaur. It's a really, really bad position for him to be in. In all honesty, he should actually be the one heading over here because, well, first of all, he's faster. We're getting spotted, which means there's a decent chance that somebody might be trying to have a go at that. It's a TWA, two TWA guys on the other team, so spot luck for them being able to get into the same match. Early in the season, with all the good players around us, we take his Salvo, obviously going to set us fire. This is a really awkward position. We do need to be careful at. Aircraft's coming in, and considering our guns are turning, we're turning to click on that. We're turning to click on these as well, just to try to wipe out as much as possible. Our 350s and DP do manage to pick up a couple of these fighters, but our focus currently is on the torpedo bombers. Let's shoot what the AA is shooting at. That is our that's our early combat. We damage on that, and we should also be using our heal early. The earlier we use it, the better it is. The Shimas give us a smoke, so that basically is quite useful for us because all the aircraft are shot down. We can hide behind the smoke screen right now, and we won't be getting spotted. So we'll be able to dish out a little bit of bonus damage here, although we are taking more to the Zao. Shooting at the Montana, not really a big deal. The Minotaur is somehow still alive, but he's unlikely to live much longer if he wants to make some awkward turn like that. We see inbound AP, so he's unlikely to have a good time off that. He needs a breakaway right now, and even then, I think he's probably used the heal, and there you go. That's the majority of it. Nope, he's replacing ship right now, but it might just be too late, especially with the aircraft carrier going in to click him. This guy better try to make a mess out of these dive bombers as much as possible. Just tag onto the big squadron, because the small squadron is being focused by the Minotaur, obviously, so tagging onto that. But US dive bomber is comrade, so most of his health does get wiped out. As you can see, we're currently trying to shoot at this Montana, but, again, it's not really... I mean, it's not like I wouldn't say bad. I mean, the enemy doesn't have a radar, so currently Yoyang is basically going to nab that capture point for free. However, the Minotaur is not having a good time of it. He's being shelled at by half the enemy team. The bombers are basically sticking around to try to keep him spotted, so unfortunately, I don't think he's getting out of that, because he's on multiple fires, and the Glashivai actually managed to burn him down, which is incredibly awkward. But for the moment, the enemy team hasn't decided they want to contest Charlie, so chances are this cap is going to become ours for free. Shima, if he had F3s, he'd easily be able to close the distance and wipe out the Montana, but looks like the Shimi is... I don't actually know. Looks like a reasonably awkward full dump, so let me actually just free cam up and try to get there to see. I mean, the guy gave us a smoke already, so, considerate enough to do that, but as we can see, full white line dump of torpedoes. Never once considered that this guy's just simply going to break away, so that's a complete waste of torpedoes by the Shima. Massive misplay by him. Of course, again, if he had F3s, he'd wipe him, but those do not look like F3s. Those look like, the 3 M3s. We'll see where they expire. In the meantime, we're kind of turning around, heading a bit more towards the western side of the map, but we're not really achieving anything. Overall, as we get ourselves spotted, again, it is by this Montana over here, as you can see, just over this island that is within the 10.6 kilometer spotting range. I just want to see where these torpedoes are going, and yep, indeed, they are T-93 M3s. 12K torpedoes, in other fancy words. We could have been shooting as we cross here because, as we can see, the guy was well within 10 kilometers, but he should have been dead. Arshima messed that up really, really, really badly. Enemy team's coming back, and we're actually going to tuck ourselves in here so we can be a bit more of an AA bitch overall. Do need to be careful. Enemy team flanking around could be an issue. But at the moment, well, the Conqueror is not... Well, he's under a lot of pressure. He doesn't really want to get too close. This stuff over there could become a problem. But as we're getting closer to this, well... The better it is, you know, it's better to be out here, because there's a lot more cover, you can shoot over this safely as long as you have someone spotting. Sure, we're not here providing the anti-aircraft, but we would have been in a position to save this Yueyang, and chances are this Yueyang is having a bad time of it right now. Aircraft carrier going from our aircraft carrier not yet in a position to actually do anything about it. Currently, I'd say the enemy aircraft carrier is having the better time of it, because he basically got the Minotaur killed. Our aircraft carrier, I don't believe, has actually yet managed to make a decent strike, and carrier does actually manage to nail our Yueyang, who otherwise might have gotten away. Well, without a carrier, he almost certainly would have gotten away. We're unable to finish off this Yueyang. He's just way too much health and getting away too fast. Our AA is shooting up some fighters. We could be defensive AAing to retreat path these guys, but we don't really want to necessarily risk him knowing we're defensive and coming along and HE bombing us. The guy is HE bombed because he set fires earlier. And, well, that's going to murder a lot of our anti-aircraft and our ability to sustain the AA into the later stages of the game. Granted, we've been HE'd by the Zao a little bit already. I don't think this works in replays that well, so let me just try it. There we go. We actually have only lost one mount of the 350s, and, well, the early columns absolutely nobody gives a damn about. Garjava is coming through, and obviously since we're running defensive, we can't just sail up and hydro him, which could be really awkward because, well, we're too close and we don't have a radar, and he obviously knows we don't have a radar because we radared out their Yueyang, so he can pretty safely just smoke screen in front of us and be incredibly annoying. Continuing to MLG him, we're shooting high, so we're only really able to put the top of his superstructure. Again, we kind of need to aim high to make sure the shells actually go over the island. Star bombers behind us, we can click and defensive them if we want, but remember, Shift X on the target before you do this kind of stuff, because now you see the amount of time we're going to lose on traversing these turrets back again. We don't have reload upgrades, so it's not as bad, but remembering this kind of stuff can be useful. And again, we're swiveling them back again. Just keep guns facing there, and you can right mouse button to keep the guns aimed, and then just swivel our sight. And now, of course, we're not going to get the radar online to reset him, even though I don't think it's going to change the outcome of this battle. The outcome of this battle is honestly already rather set. It's going to be up to our Montana, who's way too low HP, and our Conqueror to be able to do something, but unfortunately he's not in a position to do so. We do defensive, so we get a lot of plane kills, which is incredibly good, as the other plane just flies into range. This one is unlikely to fly into range, and it's not going to be defensive, so it's going to be awkward. Monty gets burnt down, so we're now left alone. We've got 10 seconds left until the radar, so either we reverse ourselves behind into this kind of an area to stop our bow from being lol-penned too much into the Citadel, while still being able to shoot if battleships do want to push over. But anyways, our radar is back online, and, well, considering that we reversed, well, currently nothing's really there to spot, and there's absolutely no more remaining support. This game was really buggy to begin with, so it really doesn't matter what you're doing on A if they're on C. We do radar the Zao a little bit too late. We could potentially have Citadel them a lot better earlier, so we no longer have the Citadel angle. And if we're going to engage the Zao, then we're not going to be able to pressure the Garjava, who really is going to be the guy coming along to be trouble, because he's just going to... He knows the radar cooldowns, he knows the weight cooldowns down, it's ideal. Unlike I always struggle with his name. But, if we were able to deal more damage to him inside of the smoke screen earlier and whatnot, we could potentially have gotten a better result out of it. The other option is just go in there and liberate immediately, liberate on sight, but that's likely going to get us killed. But at this point, that's really all we can do, because sitting here is going to result in almost certain death of our the rest of our fleet. Trying to shoot AP at him, he's never going to turn us to broadside, so kind of a bit of a waste. And, well, the Unlighting knows the radar's going to go down. Now, obviously, let me just pause this right here. Sal's running. Garajava is likely going to pull up to try to smoke screen. But here's the thing. He knows our radar's down. He knows we likely have defensive. He probably would be seeing the planes falling out of the sky. So he's likely just going to go up, pop up right here, and smoke screen. In hindsight, that's exactly what he's going to do. But at this point, sitting here, what's going to happen is he's going to smoke screen, the guys are going to come around, the planes are going to be spotting us, or he's going to be spotting us. We can't shoot him because we're within the 8.2 kilometer smoke shooting range. He can safely shoot us. So at this point, they don't know actually exactly what we're doing, and they're probably expecting us to be trying to reverse. So I would actually, at this point, just suck up out right in through C and do as much as possible, because, well, the way we're going to play this, the way we're going to sit here is a guaranteed loss. 99.9% guaranteed loss. Basically, we're going to lose. We have no ships, we're out of battleships, they got 2 battleships, they got destroyers, their destroyers are competent, our Shima is currently in the middle of, I don't know where. Conqueror's been in the middle of nowhere for a while. If you can get in there and trade down a couple of people, perhaps a very small chance. If you're able to capture Charlie as well, I would doubt it. The Moines, I mean, none of these guys are really going to be APing us. I mean, if we can kill the Grajeva without dying to torpedoes, that could be useful. Otherwise, just pushing in there to get the destroyer down and out of the game could potentially give us more than enough experience, because we've done a bit of damage, not super high amounts of damage here. But we got 39 plane kills, so more destroyer damage is pushing for destroyer damage is almost certainly gonna, like, 100% guarantee us a star save at this point. It should still be a very good star save. It depends on how much the rest of the team is done. Depending on what Montana got away with, the Conqueror probably hasn't had much. He's just been at the back trying to spam, so it's unlikely he got too much out of that. So, Liu Yang almost certainly got nothing. Minotaur almost certainly got nothing. Shimi is well, judging by the full dump on the Montana, he's unlikely to get anything out of this as well. So, to be honest, we're already on a reasonably... We're reasonably safe on the start at the moment, but, well, we're not going to win this either. And there you go, that's the Grajevai trying to spam us. But basically, just pushing up here to try to force ourselves into the face of the Grajevai so that he can't really just go around and deal with us or anything. But anyways, he's still trying to shoot at us, and there you go. That was actually Zhao trying to shoot over, but there you go. Grajevai gets spotted, and he knows we don't have radar, so he knows. The moment he sees us shooting, well, he didn't even need that, but he can just safely sit there. So now our options are either shut up, stop shooting, and back away, make him waste the smoke screen, wait for the next radar, shoot at him again, or continue trying to trade him inside of the smoke screen, meaning that we're going to bleed to everything else. We realize he's reversing, so way too much on the overlead. Grajevai is fast, but not that fast, and he stopped reversing a little bit. With Damok on the double fire a little bit on the late end, there you go, much better placed aim. We got to use the heal instantly. Zhao gets spotted again, somewhat broadside. We need to go forwards to respot him because we're just reversed too far. He's still able to shoot over this area. So this is incredibly awkward. We're going to go down at this point. We will never be able to reconceal ourselves even through the heal before, well, they just kill us. Could have loaded AP on the Zhao, but didn't really matter. So, too late, and that's unlikely to do too much, I think, because, he's just, again, you can see it on the map, just going to angle. And again, we're double fire because Grajevai RNG is... kind of just works like that. Without fire prevention, you're gonna get set on fire at some point. So continue shooting here. We're gonna die. Doesn't matter. Continue shooting. Get as much damage out of it as possible. And there we go. We just got concealed, but 2 fires with that Damocon. We're going down. So yeah. So I don't know. We don't have the full post-battle results screen. We do have a team list. So yes, quite naturally, we did end up saving the star. Midway does get 33 planes somehow. So. I mean, he was never going to save the star. He's in a carrier, and, well, considering the fact that, realistically, he had a worse time of it, all in all, we still managed to save it. So, the Montana, he had a decent position. You want to be going down the Delta area. You want to be on the 8-9 line to be able to engage people on the backside of the island. We did get Charlie with our Yue Young. It, unfortunately, it came at the cost of his life. And again, where we are, we're only able, well, with the Minotaur dying, the Minotaur could have taken that position because he has a way to extract himself out of that with his rapid acceleration and, well, better concealment. He's got a way to extract himself out of that. However, we should have been in all honesty, on the 8-9 line, perhaps even the 10, going down the 10 line, but there's a lot of positions on the 9 line to ambush destroyers trying to enter properly. This was early season though, so a lot earlier than people, before people had really figured out how to play this map properly. We can see here though that 2 people on rank 2, so people were already starting to get closer ranking out, but most people in the 4 to 5 area. Of course, to get to rank 10, especially with something like a Hindenburg, you need some serious luck. You need a good streak of getting competent destroyers. In this case, he got a clanmate of his and whatnot, so that's just kind of the the early rank season struggle for the most part. It's gonna be back and forth without too much. You're not gonna streak too much. Not in my experience, at least, of doing stuff early season. You can streak if you get lucky. If you have a if you're playing a destroyer, you get one decent radar cruiser with you. You're having a good time with it, unless of course the enemy has the exact same thing. But there's a lot more individual strategic plays in mind to counter individual players over just in general countering what you expect people to do. So maybe make a strategic highlight of how to play on North properly, and in my opinion, especially into the latest end of the season now. Well, I mean, later, I don't know how the back end of the season is going to be, but from what I see, definitely trying to play for the win should be a lot better now than trying to be a Hindenburg and saving a star on your way to victory. I mean, granted, if everyone's doing that with the Hindenburgs, then eventually, if you can deal more damage than other people and kite people away from good positions, then hey, there's always the ability to get through. But yeah, I'll probably make a strategic highlight of that. I'll also be uploading the King of the Sea highlights throughout the course of the next few days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. Subscribe to my channel, blah blah blah, the usual stuff if you would like. And I will be prioritizing rank replays as much as possible with the replay cast whenever I find time. Yeah. So send them in if you want. I'll try to go through them. I'll try to go through the, now that I'm done with my own rank, I don't really mind giving away the secrets of the maps. Giving away. I know, right? Most of these things are pretty. If you think about them, they're actually pretty. They're pretty apparent, really. You might not think so. Like you're going to the 10 line or north. Oh my god, that's how to win. And if you send a replay like that to Jingles, it's gonna go like, what the fuck? Everyone's going down the 10 line. Are these guys all idiots? But nope, that's in my opinion the right way to play the map. All you need to do is go down the 10 line and keep control of the western side sufficiently that they can't just ruffle into it. Of course, you don't go down the 10 line with everything. If the enemy team's going down the other side, then you just get a yin yang rotation and nobody really wins. In fact, you get the shittier end of that rotation simply because of the fact that the caps, the double cap, is on the western side. But trying to push through the western side is incredibly expensive, though. So while it previously was a good way of doing it, it isn't really so much now because there's an easier way of doing it, that is to go down the 10 line. Whereas previously, you contested both of the caps, try to get both of the caps. And again, if you wanted C, you had to go down the 10 line, but that meant that you're out of the game to contest the other cap. But now that that's no longer the case, the cap, just the slight change in the cap sequence does actually make it much more viable to do so. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.